Today we'll be talking about how to become a successful entrepreneur. Maybe you might already be an entrepreneur and you want to be more successful than you already are, or you're a beginner. And either way, this slide is for you. There's some things you need to know before or during being an entrepreneur. These are the three questions you should ask yourself. What does it mean to be an entrepreneur? Where does the word originate from? And what do I need to know when becoming my own boss? The definition of an entrepreneur is a person who undertakes to do a job. Entrepreneur originated from the French word entreprendre. When becoming your own boss, you should know what it takes. How much time do you have while being an entrepreneur? Who are you trying to sell this product to? Your advertisement. You should know all of this. And some characteristics of an entrepreneur, if you're not sure, these are not the only characteristics. Maybe some of these don't apply to you, maybe they all do, maybe some do. But here are some. One, you're a risk taker. No matter what, maybe you don't even have enough money for your next meal. But what think like an entrepreneur, what would you do? Would you take that risk of not eating? Or would you take the risk of becoming an entrepreneur? It might help you in the long run, it might not. A decision maker. You have to be headstrong decision maker. You can't hesitate when you're making decisions. You have to know this is what you want, this is how you want it. Also a dream maker. You have been dreaming and dreaming and dreaming about this. Instead of just dreaming, you actually make it happen. Is that you? Vision. You have it's the same as a dream. You have a vision and you want it to happen. So what do? You go out there and make it happen. Driven. If you're not driven to becoming an entrepreneur, you don't need to do it. You have to be driven, driven, driven. Make sure this is something you want to do. There's a lot of risk in becoming an entrepreneur. And if you're a risk taker, then you're ready. And you have to be passionate, just like before being driven. If you're not passionate about it, don't do it. If you rather be a manager in somebody else's business or do something in somebody else's business, then that's what's for you. But if you rather own the business, then entrepreneurship is for you. After, you get used to being an entrepreneur, what are some things you could do to keep growing? Maybe you started from the bottom and you want to keep going. Maybe you have one place of business in this one city, state. That's where you want to stay. That's it. Good for you. If that's what you want, go for it. But these are for the people who want to keep growing. Step one, you should define your business. Tell people what you're selling them and how it would benefit. Make sure, like if I'm selling coffee, I want to make sure that that is the only thing I'm advertising to people is that coffee. Step two, analyze your target audience. Think of what your audience wants. If you're more advertising towards teenagers, maybe you could ask one of your employees' children that might be a teenager what's the trend, or you can go on the internet, find out what the teenagers or older people, your elders, find out what's interesting to them so you can be more appealing to them. And step three, figure out how much time you have. Time is very, very important. Maybe you have to make sure you're on time for meetings, can't be late, and make sure you have enough time for your business. If you don't have time for your business, maybe this is not the right time to start that business. Step four, make sure to have all your employees trained and up to date. It's very important, especially if you're in a food business. If your employees are not up to date, and you have an inspection and they do something wrong that they didn't know about, you can get in trouble for that, for your lack of growth essentially. And you want to make sure you stay up to date. Thank you. That would be all for my presentation today. And if you have any questions, please don't be afraid to text me.